tapping in.
Are we live?
Wait. Recommended review. What are we talking about?
The Many Saints of Newark.
Newark. The Many
Newark.
Saints. I know those guys. Those are good guys.
Many Saints of Newark, man. That's from the Sopranos movie that came out recently. The Sopranos movie.
I know a couple of those guys from Newark. Those are my guys. Good guys, you know. Took care of things once. Back when I needed man, it was great. Great guys.
What you need to understand is every time Miles watches Soprano movies, you get stuck in a Sopranos character.
Oh,
look at the balls on this guy. Look at the balls on this guy.
Oh, man, hey, what am I? Target practice? Listen, great show, The Sopranos. I love it. It's one of my favorite slow burns. It's one of the shows that I really appreciate, even when it makes it hard to like. I really like The Sopranos, man.
Yeah, good stuff, man. And this, The Sopranos is contested when they talk about the best TV shows ever made. You're watching the process of a man find himself, the deeply flawed man trying to be able to find himself in a wild universe of characters. It was dope. Still a very controversial ending to the series. So once the movie dropped, people were excited. I haven't gotten the chance to get around to it yet, but I know you have. How do you put it as a Soprano fan?
Yeah. Well, as a Soprano fan, I just got to appreciate, you know what I'm saying? What you were saying about the depth of the character development in the show. That's my favorite thing about The Sopranos, is that it doesn't rely on you liking any of the characters to keep you engaged, to keep you invested in what happens to them. It shows all of their characters as flawed, as complete humans, and you have to, and there's something really incredible about feeling connected to a character that doesn't have to be a good guy, that you don't have to agree with all of the time, right? You can play with stakes in such a different way if the character can cross lines that the audience disagrees with, and without losing the connection with the audience. It's incredible in that. For me to be black and to hear Tony be racist in the show, you know what I'm saying? For us to see characters do things murder, all sorts of stuff, backhanded stuff, lie, cheat, and steal, and for us to still care about these characters and still be able to relate to them, I think is a really important part of what the show did. And I want to big up the show a lot, because the movie was just some extra. It was just it wasn't bad, but it was pretty much geared only for fans of the show. It was like an hour and a half of fan service. And the thing about that, I watched it I've been watching it with my girl. We've been watching The Sopranos. We got up to season 5, and then we were like, all right, let's watch the movie and we'll finish up the show. And she was saying, thank God we watched the show up even to season 5, because if you don't watch it, there's you're not going to understand a lot of what the show, the jokes that the show is kind of letting hang in the air, or the camera shots that it's lingering on. A lot of that stuff is just is fan service. So you really need the context of the show. Something I would like compare it to would be the follow-up to Breaking Bad, El Camino, right? Where you have Jesse Pinkman, you have some characters that are reoccurring and referencing things that are happening in the universe of the show. And so it's interesting in that way, but it's not quite all that powerful as a standalone movie.
Yeah. It's a movie that exists on, say, the bonus features of the total collection package. So for the deep fans, once you've totally been able to run through it, it's what you're gonna get as the bonus clip. If you had a DVDs back in the day, you know exactly what that means.
1,000%. Yes, this is down arrow, right arrow on your DVD menu. As the show. Dang, I miss those, dude. When you would put a DVD in and you would be seeing clips of the movie, options, and it would be like play movie in HD format. Dang, that shit is crazy, man.
Hey man, we're gonna start collecting those. But the reason why, even for instance, people don't collect those ancient movie films, right? Like a movie buff is not gonna run a film, like hardcore film.
Yo, that would be nuts, G. If somebody was like, "Yo, you want to watch a movie?" and went and got like a whole reel and like
yeah, now I got the
like,
reel.
You'd be like, "This is nuts."
This is nuts for sure. But it doesn't. Movie doesn't have that same appeal, you know.
But on the flip side of that, I was chilling with my moms the other day. Shout out to Momzo, and I was listening to. She's got this vinyl player that we finally hooked up to her stereo system, and she was playing the Osley Brothers record. And we were both just talking about how there's certain music that just hits different on vinyl, right? And for a lot of those specific reasons, we've seen directors like Tarantino shoot movies in certain formats that are supposed to kind of be evocative of a past format of shooting movies. So it definitely, to your point, yeah, we're definitely going to see those being collected, or they're going to be NFTs is what they're going to be. You're going to be able to download the Matrix DVD screen NFT. And that's going to be your phone, your laptop wallpaper is the DVD screen from the Matrix. But and when that happens, we want some money. The Matrix, give me some Matrix money.
I'm excited to see what the next one looks like. I might even go on a Matrix marathon now. And if we're getting into things we recommend, I've just been watching old school James Bond movies, trying to get in the right James Bond mode. You know, dive deeper into the Year of the Gentleman.
I hear that. But yeah, man. So to wrap up the Sopranos movie, this joint was, I would say I'd give this a solid 3 out of 5. You know, it was worth a watch, worth the first watch. Dope to see James Gandolfini's son got to play him. It was very reminiscent of Ice Cube and NWA, where it's like this is a dope opportunity for that young person to kind of pay homage and have that connection. And if you love the Sopranos, you'll love this movie. It was dope to see Tony's mom played in a very close way to the way Carmela was played. It just kind of starts to make things make sense. It was cool to see some more black characters in Sopranos, although that was just to have some black characters in Sopranos, and they didn't care about that plot at all. Didn't even really resolve it in any sort of way. But it was cool to see the diversity, and solid 3 out of 5s across the board, man.
Yeah, and if we're still giving out props to people who are playing their parents' roles and doing a good job, ODB off of the Wu-Tang Saga story is actually doing ODB's son is doing an incredible job being ODB. And I even think he tours with Wu-Tang as the standing ODB, and it's crazy.
That's lit. That's an incredible opportunity. That's awesome. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Any more recommendations for the people, man? What should they be listening to? What should they be watching? We'll give it up.
I'm about to drop an R&B playlist on our Spotify, onto the All the Way Live Spotify. So if anybody's into that, go ahead and give that a definite look, man. I've been stuck listening to a whole bunch of Yaba. Yaba's album has been on repeat for me. I've also been listening to a whole lot of Got Street Park. I've been listening to Soulquarius, Running That Back by Fabo. And also that's been the majority of it, man.
Nice.
What you got?
Halloween things, man. Listen, if you want to get into the Halloween spirit, I definitely recommend there's a show called The Haunting of Hill House. If you haven't seen that, watch that. If you haven't seen the show Hannibal, about Hannibal Lecter, the one with like Mads Mikkelsen, I think is his name, does an incredible job in that. If you haven't seen the movie Trick or Treat, watch that. If you haven't seen the original Halloweens, watch them too. The new one is kind of it's all right, but it's fun if you've been following up. So I definitely think Michael Myers is like a good way to go this Halloween. But there's also The Haunted Mansion is an underrated Halloween movie, and also is Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood is a dope Halloween movie, man.
Old school.
Go back and watch that. So yeah, man, get your Great Pumpkin on. You know what I'm saying? Get your Halloween spirit on. It might be Halloween actually the next time we are talking to you. So yeah, get your costumes ready. Tune into us for that.